It's after midnight. Everybody's gone to bed. It's time for some midnight ops. So I did a little bit of work over the holiday here. So you see I got this hooked up. There's my U-HID cable. That's my, basically just a, that's my, I don't know, I don't even know what to call it. Basically just jumpers. It just jumps. These are the cables going out to my control box. Got a new TV. Let's see, it's this one over here. 32 inch, 1080p. So that'll be nice. I have over here mounted to this wall. Got my breakout box for my, I think it's a 32 pin JVS there. Just have the computer sitting in there for now. But it looks a lot nicer than it did last time. Ready for me to put a mounting plate on the computer to mount it to these little terminals here. Just gonna take the plate that was on the X2. Everything's plugged in. I need to get a remote start button for this because the start button or the on-off button is down here on the back. So I need to make it so that I can work the computer on-off button remotely. If you look here, you see I have them against the wall. I don't want to have to, you know, if I turn them off, I don't have to pull them out and hit the switch. So I want to put a dusty, but I want to put a switch up over here so I can just reach over the top. You know, I can have it run out of this. Man, it's so dusty. Have them run out of this here. You know, just punch a hole in here and have them run out. So I can just put a switch here so I can reach up over the top and turn the computer on and off. But a little bit of work done. It's really ready to go. All right, so this is the back. So let's take a look at the front real quick. So you see the TV fits in there pretty nice. 32 inches, not very much room on each side. So it'll be good for when I do a custom bezel. You see the way the bezel looks normally, it's off center. So I need to make my own bezel so that it's not off center. You know, right now it's still set up. I got the keyboard and stuff out with my temporary box over there. I'm running the big box front in here. These are just some games that I currently have on here that I'm in the process of just getting them working. You know, not quite done yet.
3, 2.
So some of these I'm still working on. They work, but they're not necessarily calibrated currently. All right, so just taking a quick look here. This is the configuration that I use for my encoder. I use the U-HID. I have a couple different profiles right now. I just have two actually. I have one set up for keyboard, another one set up for gamepad. This keyboard 2 one is just another one I'm trying out. And so these are all encoded to a keyboard presses for my on the cabinet here, and then these 3 are the analog axis, and then I could adjust the axis here on the sensitivity. So axis 1, 2, 3. Right now I'm just kind of getting everything to work generically, essentially, and then I'm going to go back in and create specialized settings for each game if I need to, because there are some games that are a little bit more sensitive. But in general, you know, certain emulators are about the same as far as the sensitivity, it seems. So for instance, right now I have Atomic Wave set up, and that runs off of Demel. I have Dreamcast working off of actually works off Redream is what I use on this one. which is why I have the gamepad setting, because it didn't really seem to work too well on when I had it set to the keyboard settings. And then Model 2, I haven't redone Model 3 yet, but I do have Tectopaired as well, and a few Windows games that were I got off Steam. So just a kind of a quick rundown of these. So obviously you can see I'm using Launchbox. I use Big Box as well. So what I do is I have, right now I'm running these bat files here. And what this does is that it goes in, and so this is where it's going. It's going to this bat file here. And it's just a simple one. It basically just starts the uconfig utility and then loads up the profile that I want. So I have one for keyboard, one for gamepad. Well, keyboard one, the gamepad is just kind of how I have them labeled. Eventually I'll go through it. If I need a specific one for a specific game, I'll label it like, you know, keyboard underscore Daytona USA or something like that. So that loads up that specific utility. So if I need, you know, the sensitivity set differently for a certain game, because some of these games, you know, like you turn it, the steering wheel an inch to the left and it's all of a sudden you're slamming into the wall. Other games you turn it inch to the left and it barely moves it. So you have to adjust the sensitivity, or the scale factor is what it's called here, to get it to run correctly, at least for me. And then I have these set up to run automatically before the main application, with the exception of getting all of these set up. And of course I got to remake the bezel for my monitor. This will basically be like 80% done, which makes it, you know, enough to play with and have fun with. And then eventually I'll come back and, you know, small tweaks as we go. Then of course I got to do the other cabinet. But it looks like it's actually might be time for me to switch over, because it's working. This one's a weird one to play with the steering wheel, trying to do the motorcycle. Kids love Mario Kart, of course. Maximum speed. This one's kind of fun because you get to have a bash button where you hit people with a crowbar as you're riding a bike. Well, of course, close to classic Outrun. This one's actually not too bad. Like the physics were getting a little bit better when this game came out. This one's just weird. I don't even have a video with that one. This is a weird one again. I think a skiing game with a steering wheel. So I wish I had more games like this. Like one of the ones I wish I could get is Wacky Racers, but I can't seem to find that one. The reason I want Wacky Racers, one, it's a different kind of game, which is kind of what I'm looking for. I mean, obviously a bunch of these, there's tons of games that are just these rally games or, you know, racing games. They're all relatively the same, but, you know, playing this or Mario Kart, they're a little bit different. You know, granted, this is, you know, a la Mario Kart. This is a Sega version of it. But it's a little bit different, you know, a little bit, you know, kid-friendly or something. But, you know, there's tons of games like this. You know, this one's a little different. This one's like almost like Chase H.Q.2 where you have to chase down the criminal and bash his car was a little bit harder. So, and of course, that's one of the ones I need to get on here is Chase H.Q.2. But these are what I have, quote unquote, working right now. So enough to play with. Kids came over the other day and a bunch of them played on it, so that's good. All right. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, hit me up in the comments. Otherwise, see you on the next Midnight Ops.